Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking an absolute roller coaster of a match. We're talking about one of the most chaotic, thrilling, and genuinely shocking 90 minutes we've seen in recent football history.
13. That number is absolutely crucial here. To put things into perspective, before the starting whistle even blew, Japan had faced Brazil 13 times in their history. And how many victories did they have? Exactly 0. Talk about a massive psychological mountain to climb.
So you really gotta wonder, how on earth did a team that had literally never beaten the most legendary jersey in football completely flip the script? Well, as we're gonna see, it's really a tale of two entirely different halves. If you only watched the first half, you wouldn't have seen this coming. Like, not a chance. Japan was sitting back in these incredibly compact blocks, but Brazil, they were in absolute control. They were just patiently using Vinicius Jr. and Martinelli to pick that organized defense apart. Early on, sure, Japan defended well and really choked off the creative space. But mid-half, Brazil just found a way through. Bruno Guimarães launched this spectacular ball right to Paulo Henrique, who volleyed it home for a really emotional first national team goal. And then, right before the break, Lucas Paquetá pulls off this genius chip, letting Martinelli smash in a second. Just total dominance.
So we hit halftime. The score is 2-0 Brazil. And honestly, there was this massive false sense of security creeping in. It felt like, okay, this is just another routine win for the Brazilian squad. The usual script was playing out perfectly.
But wow, the second half kicks off and the tone shifts so drastically. I mean, it's like a completely different game. Japan totally abandons their deep defensive block, pushes their lines way up, and just triggers this relentless high press. And what followed? A total defensive blackout for Brazil. Just 4 minutes into the half, that high press causes absolute panic. Center back Fabrício Bruno crumbles during the build-up, just completely misreads it, and hands a literal gift directly to Minamino's foot. And Minamino ruthlessly punishes the mistake. Brazil's house of cards was officially starting to wobble. Japan's tactics were just lethal here. It was a clear three-step blueprint. First, relentless high pressure. Second, force direct decision-making errors from the defense. And third, hit them with lightning-fast offensive transitions. And you know what? It worked again. Fabrício Bruno misjudged a clearance, leaving Nakamura completely free to volley home the equalizer. Suddenly, we're tied at 2-2. From that moment on, you can take tactical rationality and throw it completely out the window. The match turns into an absolute street fight. It's pure desperation on one side and just infinite adrenaline on the other. The next few minutes were pure, unfiltered chaos. Brazil's desperately trying to respond, right? Matheus Cunha actually scores, but nope, it's ruled offside. Japan instantly counters, tearing right through this totally panicked Brazilian midfield. I swear, every single ball hit into the box felt like a mini heart attack for that defense.
Then came the ultimate warning shot. Ito whips this incredibly dangerous cross into the area for Ueda, and his header absolutely rattles the crossbar. It was a massive chance missed for Japan, but it completely exposed that Brazil's aerial defense was shattered.
Which brings us to the dying seconds in Tokyo. A desperate Brazilian clearance results in a Japanese corner kick. The entire stadium is literally holding its breath. A 13-match curse was about to be rewritten by a single set piece. The ball is whipped in, the Brazilian marking totally falls apart yet again, and there is Ueda. He rises up, powers the header right into the net, and it's a goal. An absolutely historic, devastating comeback from 2-0 down to win it 3-2 at the death. The taboo is officially broken. Looking back at the timeline, Japan's second-half masterclass was just incredibly surgical. You've got Minamino capitalizing early on that huge error, Nakamura tying it up mid-half, and then Ueda sealing the whole shebang right at the end. 45 minutes of offensive perfection that completely dismantled a footballing giant. The contrast between the two halves is just wild. We went from a totally dominant Brazil cruising toward a routine victory at halftime to a final whistle where Japan completes a colossal, historic upset against a defense that looked emotionally and tactically fragile. Look, Japan deserves all the credit in the world for a brilliant win. But for Brazil, man, the red warning lights are flashing. Think about it. If high pressure and set pieces caused a total collapse in a friendly, what is this defense going to look like under the immense pressure of the 2020